guess what? I'm Dave.
I'm Sean.
We are Barstools and
Bandtalk, the complete maritime music bucket list. And if we look a little disheveled and uncoordinated, it's my fault. I'm kind of in the middle of something, but the show, it must go on. So we're going to give her a good old college try. I'm at the corner of Robie and South Street in Halifax.
What do you see there?
What's that?
What do you see there? What's over there?
A lot of tulips coming up. Well, I can show you. Look. See?
There you go.
Kinds of stuff. It's not a bad night. It's a cool night. A little overcast, a little foggy. But other than that, it's amazing.
Speaking of amazing, we have an amazing guest tonight, and again, a super impressive resume. And I'm going to let her tell the story mainly. But this lady has, she's no stranger to the maritime music. However, there's a pretty long hiatus, and we'll talk about that with her as well. You'll see her, the lead singer is in the Bain Band, one of the singers in the Sounds of Motown Band, and her own band, the Michelle Ryder Band. So we're pretty excited to bring on Michelle Ryder. And don't be surprised if my friend Sean drops off, because downtown Halifax doesn't have a great internet scene. So, without further ado, Michelle Ryder. There she is.
Hello, Michelle.
Miss America. How are you, darling?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I hope you enjoy your mug.
Shamelessly plugging. Cheers.
Oh, it's like we're related.
Michelle has a mug, I don't.
Oh, yeah. We explained Sean's circumstances that he's on remote special assignment. Oh, now I might go away myself.
It's still you.
Yeah. If
I know, Michelle. Right about now,
I might lose my fucking. Oh, jeez.
You're asking, Michelle. Right about now, you're asking, is Sean's head really that big? And it is really that big.
Is Dave's head gone? Yeah. So Dave hits that
angle that's working.
You know what? We may. You know what? Let's try that intro again, because that was fucked up. So now I just
disappeared.
Yeah. You know what? Screw it. Keep it real. Should we keep it real?
The win. I knew this was going to be a terrible time.
No, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. You're freaking right, it is. I've just been sitting around watching your videos all the time. They're amazing.
So yeah. So Sean's in Halifax, where my friend Michelle and I are in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia today. Shameless plug for Dartmouth.
Yeah.
I want to hear about how it started for you. Now, I know you started early, like around 3 years old, maybe early.
I came from a musical family, so there was never a time where we were not singing, but I think people started actually recording us around the age of, I have recordings from when I was 3 years old, and just always did everything I could to be around music and involved with music. And fortunately, I had some incredible music teachers when I was coming up through elementary who exposed us to a lot of things that some kids didn't get to. We did a musical in elementary school. And from that, I got a commercial for Scotian Gold apple juice. So yeah, my first paycheck in probably grade 2 or 3 or something. It was crazy.
How cool is
So
that?
things stayed fairly busy for me, being invited to come and do this and that. Till probably, I think it was Spring Festival 80 at the Metro Center. And they asked me to come with the high school choir was going to perform, and I was supposed to walk out through the center and do this bridge or whatever, and it went. I was so scared, and it went so beautifully, and I'm sitting and I can feel the heat of the lights, and I'm panting and heaving, and I feel so good because I've just done like the very best I could possibly do. And then I just heard some old lady talking too loud, probably because she was going deaf, say, what a beautiful voice. It's too bad she's so heavy. I'm like 10 or 12 years old, right? I was 10. And it crushed, like I couldn't believe. I just gave them everything. And yeah, so it kind of shut me down for a bit. When I say a bit, I was probably 36. before my friends finally locked me out of my house.
Michelle, are you serious?
I know. I know. Oh, if I had the years back, believe me. But I was devastated.
You need to hang out with Dave and I a little bit more because
Apparently.
yeah, the more they knock us down, the more we get back up.
Yeah, they hadn't learned that thick skin thing.
And I will tell you, well, and you know what? And I apologize. I feel like I have a tour. I'm trying to find the good Wi-Fi connection, so I'm moving around. I'll be honest with you. That story to me pains me to hear because, I mean, you know, in this day and age where you're supposed to be lifting people up, and especially, you know, women, you know, to have another, I guess, you know, sister, if you will, do something like that, and just kind of take your legs right out from underneath is, you know, it's not great.
No, it wasn't. And it took its toll. I'm ashamed of myself for letting it take its toll. I just didn't know any better at the time. But fortunately, friends of mine got tired of hearing me sing in the shower and locked me out of my house in Cole Harbour and said, "You're going into this contest. We've already entered your name." And I was like, no. So down to the perfect pour we went. Hand is shaking like this. I almost took my teeth out with the mic. I sang a tune, and I'm like waiting for the floor to open up and swallow me. I'm dying. And the place just erupts, and somebody puts $2,000 in my hand, and I'm like, "Oh, this is good. This is good." And it's been nonstop ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of the story. So that is, Sean said to his point, that's a sin. It took 26 years.
No idea what she did.
Listen, do you know how many singers we look for over the years? Do you have any idea how many times we were looking for really good singers? Where in the hell were you at, Michelle? Jesus. Hope they don't dead.
I'll tell you a little story, Michelle, and I've never really shared this story with Dave. Might know it, but when I was learning to play drums, there was a person who basically told me I'd never be a professional drummer, and I used that guy's words as motivation to kind of get better. And I remember for me, when I finally figured out I had kind of conquered it, he called me up one night to get on the guest list at the Misty Moon. And I was like, "No, you're not getting on the guest list. You told me I was never going to be a pro. Frig you." Right? So
turnabout is fair play.
Right.
I'm the worst guy to do that to too. So anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing that you develop, and it's without having that upcoming, if you will, in the burst, because you're right. There's a lot of trials and tribulations on the road. There's a lot of stuff that happens that toughens your skin and prepares you for the next step, whatever it may be in your career. But man, it's just a tough old go. So without having that, it'd be hard. Yeah, it'd be hard to yeah, I get it. So that you were at such a young age that you just never tried again. So let's fast forward then a little bit. So you win this contest at the Perfect Pour. Yeah. Now people are like, "Hey, there's a new female singer in town. What happens next?"
Well, the people that were judging the competition that night, and there was a few hanging around that I had conversations with a few people, and it's funny because one warned me that there's sharks in the water that would love to make money off of your back, and that ended up being the only shark that I met. But no, I met some wonderful people right off the get who were very happy to introduce me to other people, and you know, right from there forward, I started performing with someone who was doing some Beatles stuff, and I got to travel to the States and do some really fun stuff down there in Louisville, Kentucky, and Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Cleveland, Ohio. So it was a long drive, but it was fun.
Wow.
And yeah, then I came back, and I had moved from I've had a crazy bunch of jobs. I'm a carpenter by trade, and I had left I had left driving truck with Dan Ross to go to Metro Transit, and I just got a phone call saying, you know, we heard that you were doing some stuff. Would you come out and meet? So I went out and met Dutch Robinson, and he and I started singing together and writing songs together. And I was really nervous, and I was still not confident. I was afraid that people were just being nice. And we played Parade Square downtown, and the newspaper printed a story the next day and called me the blonde, brassy and ballsy enough to take on the voice of Dutch Robinson and win. And I was like, ooh. So yeah, things started turning up from there. I had changed jobs from transit and went to working for the military in Halifax. And it took me a lot of dialing the number to actually call the commanding officer of the Stad Band, because I know they only take the very best from across the country. They audition the best in the country. And I said, sir, I know it's only military people, and I know you only take the best of the best, but I was doing a little coffee house at the Heritage Farm in Cole Harbour. So I invited he and his wife just to come out, and so they came a little late and they left early, and I thought, oh, I tried, right? And the next day my desk phone rang and it was him, and I was like, oh, sir, I hope you were able to have a good time last night. And he said, oh yes, can you come up right away? And from then on, I was a contract vocalist with the Stad Band and playing Rebecca Cohen and Member 2 Center and doing tours with Barry Merry Christmas, and it was unbelievable, really.
What
To
year
have
was
So
this?
45-piece orchestra. I was Ray Murray.
What year was this?
Oh, that would have been 2008, I guess.
Wow.
Finally got it.
So, do you know my buddy Brad Davidge that plays with the
I
Stad Band?
sure do. Brad Davidge is the reason I have a band. He's
Brad
amazing.
Davidge is he's one of my very good friends. I got to know him through music, and then through sports, and then through music again. And he's one of the funniest guys. He's one of the talented guys. And he's so gracious. You could completely suck,
Absolutely
and
humble.
he would make you feel like you were the best thing out there.
Yes.
So that's awesome. That's fantastic.
To be roommates with my guitar player from Bane Band, which is Mark Horton.
I know Mark very well too. Actually, Mark and I
Okay.
played in a band a short time ago.
Oh yeah.
I was talking to Mark a couple weeks ago, and he's trying to figure out what next year is going to look like in his business. But I get another connection I got with you in the Bane Band is Rick. I know Rick very, very well.
Because you're a PA guy.
No, I didn't meet Rick until a few years ago. My company does business with Rick.
Okay.
And I always run into him at the Superstore. And
Amazing.
truthfully, I had no idea he was the singer he was. And then one night I was at a hockey auction, and we happened to go into Monty's, and he was up on stage singing, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I had no idea. And he's a guy I just love. He's got the dry sense of humor. He's funny as hell and super talented.
Absolutely. I've known him since I was probably around 20, and he, like me, they called him the Golden Boy, right? Wicked paddler, wicked singer, wicked hockey player. He probably could have gone to the show, but he had a family, and he gave it all to raise his kids. And when Bane said to me, because we were doing classic rock, I was like, I'm having a ball, but we really should have a male voice in here. There's some of it that doesn't lend itself to a female voice. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, if you could have anyone you wanted, who would you? And Rick was the name I dropped. And he's like, who's that? And I said, well, we were going to do Bikers Down. So Rick's band was playing just before us. And I stood in the audience with Bane doing this, like, are you listening?
Yeah.
Blew them out of the water. It was amazing. So there was no question.
He's fantastic.
He is fantastic.
And I also know Colin. Didn't go to school with Colin, but know Colin through different sorts of things. So it's funny how, we always talk about this. Everybody's connected in one way. That 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing never lets us down, right?
It's true. No. And we can do that for sure. But it's like, and Sean and I have been around this business for a long time too. And the people that we've met and people that they've met that we've met, it doesn't take long before you go through. So, okay, let's fast forward again. So you're doing the Stad Band. You've got, and that's a good gig for sure. Yeah. So are you still have a day job too, or is this a full-time gig to the Stad Band? Or?
Yeah, I'm a facilities manager for D&D. I manage headquarters in the dockyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I can retire from that soon and hope to focus on music full time. So
Nice.
we'll see. We'll see. I think I got
So from
between.
Stab Band, what happens to Michelle Ryder now? Because you got a bunch of other stuff on the go. I know that.
Yeah, well, I hadn't at the time, and then we were talking at rehearsals and that sort of thing. Liz Rigney was also a vocalist with the Sad Band at the time, and she would do a lot of emceeing. But actually, Brad and Chris Ann Kroll, who's got Solaricity, beautiful singer, saxophone player, and Tom Roach, the drummer, they kind of
Another,
cornered me in the lunchroom and said, "So, what are you doing outside of this? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing." "What do you mean, nothing? Why aren't you in a band?" I said, "Well, nobody asked me." "Well, we just figured you'd be busy. You should have your own band." And I'm like, I don't know enough about the. I was afraid because I hadn't come up through the bar scene, and I just wasn't sure that I knew how to handle running a band myself. So Brad says, "I got you." And he sat in for a little while. I should have known that he was only helping me until I got to my feet, but he came in and got things rolling, chose musicians with me. And then he said, "Okay, I'm busy, so I'm going to tap out. But here's my super good buddy, Rob Gooding, who is a monster guitar player,
Yeah, very good.
extraordinary guy, just amazing. And we formed the Ryder family, and it's been absolutely incredible.
Awesome.
And I've found more of my voice there because I'm so close with them that it gave me the freedom to start sharing some of the songs that I'd written myself that nobody
Nice.
ever would have heard. And they were like, "Oh," and instantly just started playing it. And I was like, "What's happening?" So it's exciting stuff. Yeah, we've got a lot of trust and love for one another, and things are going really well. So we have enough stuff to put an album out now. Problem is we record it and finish it, and then we jam it and go, "Oh, we should have done that," and then we go back and redo it. So it's prattling on a little bit, but hopefully it'll be worth it when we bring it out to the mass.
I'll teach you a little phrase. Good
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, good enough.
I'm OCD. I'm so OCD. I call it CDO, so it's alphabetical.
That's funny.
I like it to be perfect. We try for that anyway. Yeah.
You watch this video back and like, holy mackerel, these guys are far from perfect. But my friend Sean said when we first started the show, he said you wanted to be more Trailer Park Boys and less Titanic. So you know what? We're trying to keep true to form, right?
Listen, I'm standing beside a plant that's dripping all over me. How less get.
And that's rock and roll.
So Michelle, I always like to ask singers this because I've played with an awful lot of good ones, and I've seen people who take uber care of their voice, and then I see people who don't take any care of their voice, and sometimes it works for them. What do you do, and what's your routine in terms of keeping that instrument 100% pristine?
I have a very specific warm up before I sing anytime. It goes like this. No, I sing all day long. I sing constantly, so my voice is always kind of warm. I do actually limit myself. I don't. If we're on the road and the boys are jamming in the lobby after hours or whatever, if I know I have to sing the next day, I just go to my room. I never ever drink when I'm singing or on stage, because if I'm going to make a mistake, it's going to be an honest one, not because I was messed up. And yeah, I try to watch what I eat, and I watch what I drink, and I avoid. I don't, everybody's going skating. I don't go skating because I'm out in the cold with I don't take chances that might have some kind of effect.
You're gonna have
to go ahead, Sean.
No, you're gonna have to teach that. The one part of my element that I developed carpal tunnel syndrome from not warming up and not just having proper places to warm up.
Right.
And I've actually been able to fix it because of physiotherapy, but discipline and dedication to doing that are two things that I've never, it's like, should I not drink the beer or should I drink a bunch of beer? Should I go to bed early or should I close the place down? And it's always the wrong answer for me.
Because we came up through the bars. You see, that was a problem. You see, that was good habits that you're wise not to do that, right?
Well, I had no desire to play in the bars that were jammed with smoke anyway. And when I even saw people playing there, I was like, how are you doing this? How? They can't have any kind of voice when they wake up in the morning, but they made it through somehow. Maybe it would have made me tougher.
That's it. More piratish. That's exactly it. So how often is the Ryder Band playing? And I want to talk about too, because you're also playing with the Bane Band and also Sounds of Motown, which is a pretty interesting project too.
Sounds of Motown is wonderful. The Ryder Band hasn't played a lot over the last year because we've kind of shut things down and been recording. We've kept it basically to music festivals. So we've done some really cool festivals. Jay Chetwin runs Smoke and Blues, and he's had us back several times. And in fact, he did East Coast Women of Blues once, and we got to be the headliner closer for that night, and that was a high point. Christine Campbell was playing, so I'm like, "You want us last?" And he goes, "Yeah, you're playing last." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "No, it'll be fine. You're great. You're great." Okay. Trying to hide my uber excitement, but yeah. So Trunk 7, they were just getting started up, and we played the first few years with them, and it was a real treat actually, because Dave is amazing, as you know, and he said, "I'd love to do a tune with you." I'm like, "Are you kidding? Name it." So he's like, "I always wanted to do a Deep Purple tune," so we did Sail Away together. And
Nice.
I looked down at the field below us, and they were all just like, "He's still got it, I'll tell you that. He can sing, holy cow." And he's such a great guy, so really, really enjoyable. Music Mountain is a great festival, and they have all kinds of different flavors. There's a country one, there's a blues one, And Randy Swallows is a great guy. He said, "You guys can come back anytime." And I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, other than that, Sounds of Motown is a treat, absolutely. I've never been around such a positive experience. There's never any static with the crowd, and it's usually 400 or 500 people there. Everybody's just happy because Motown is happy music. They dance from the very first song right off the top all night long. The dance floor is jammed. There's never a complaint. We have a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to find gigs for a 13-piece band with a full horn section.
Yep.
Hard to find stages that we played Doolittles once, and we had to put all the singers down across the floor because we wouldn't fit on the stage. But we make it work. We do the North End Dance every year, or we have done the North End Dance every year for the last several, and that's always a blast. I mean, there's 1,000 people there and more waiting outside to get in.
So guy just came out of the hospital and I think he thinks I'm going to steal his car, so I'm just backing away from him.
He's watching me talk to the trees.
I was standing by his car and he came out really slow. It's like, looking like a guy from the Sons of Anarchy's off every now and again. But, I saw some footage of you guys.
Yeah.
I think it was at Monty's.
Monty's.
That was that band that you're talking about, right? Like you guys had the full deal up there.
Was Sam beside me, or was that the benefit for Sam Moon?
I think it was the benefit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were so happy to. I mean, who gets to stand beside Sam Moon on stage all the time? I'm so blessed. It's crazy. James Logan, they're just unbelievable. And so yes, Sam was having his hip replaced, and immediately we were like, "We're doing something." That's it. Right. So it went really well, and he's doing great.
Yeah, oh yes, no, we talked to Sam. There's what a caliber musicianship in that band too. I mean, you have Neil McKinnon, Jimmy Ralph. There's Doug McKay's in that too, is he not? Or, yeah.
Sure is. He's in the Bane Band now too. I asked
him
to come over with me. Yeah, great.
Fun.
Yeah, and Liz and I had sung together with stab band, so I knew when I was looking for a voice that would blend with our harmonies when one of the guys dropped out, that she and I would be a good combination. So she came in and jumped through the hoops, and everybody adores her because she's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really sweet, full of energy, and she's really upped her game. You know, she was classically trained and had kind of an operatic feel to her voice, but now she's fire. She's throwing the gauntlet down every time she gets up there. It's fantastic to be there with her.
Yeah, and the last time I saw Liz, this is no word of a lie. Dave and I were playing breakfast television, and she was the co-host with Scott Boyd. So that's the last. Yep, true story.
Yeah, okay, too. Go.
That was year 2000, I think. Yeah.
That far back.
It was Scott Shiver in full circle. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Tell Liz we said hi, and we got to catch up. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
But
You would
Call
love
me,
it.
Liz. Call me.
what have you been doing to buy your time during all this nonsense that we're all going through, Michelle?
You know, it's tough. I didn't realize how much of an outlet it is for me. I didn't realize that this was the way I vent everything. And it definitely backed me up for a while. And, you know, everybody's doing the online kitchen party and stuff. I play guitar only enough so that I can write songs when I'm home by myself. I would never do it in front of anyone because as far as guitar players go, I'm a good singer. So, it's been tough for sure. The one plus was that Dane had taken me with on a road trip. He and his wife took me down to the States with them when COVID came down. So I ended up being quarantined with them in their cottage in Tatamagouche for a couple of weeks when we came back. That was just rough, being on the ocean while everybody else is suffering. But he had his instruments there and the sound system was there. So we'd lock ourselves away and play in the evenings for a little bit, and that was good until I had to come home.
Well, so I'll tell you, last Friday night was for me the time when I finally said people have had enough. I played a band called The Frequency, and we were going to do a live hit. Bass player didn't show up, so we're sitting around going, "What the hell are we going to do?" So you know what we did? We played Wii Bowling, and we did live Wii Bowling on Facebook, and it got almost 500 hits.
Oh my God.
Like, all right. Yeah, it's great, but it's like people want to see music, man. They don't want to see a bunch of knuckleheads playing Wii Bowling, right? So,
Michelle, it sounds to me though, like, you know, although you think, you know, you may have come to the party late, and that's story. I hope it resonates with people that you know, you just never know what kind of comment's going to hurt somebody, you know, and we need to be better human beings. We really do, you know, I mean, collectively. And like I said earlier, I hope that old lady's dead because that was not a very nice thing to say. Either, so.
Wow, that's a little harsh.
It is what it is.
She was really old when I was 10, so I'm guessing she is dead.
Yeah, screw you, lady. Michelle's my friend. I don't want people to hurt my friend's feelings. So going forward, I guess you know, that's harsh too, I guess. What we're finding, and we're talking to a lot of people, and it doesn't matter who it is, once you're an entertainer, and you may have come to the party a little bit late, but obviously, I mean, you're playing in 3 bands, like, plus working, you know, like I said, you're a busy lady. So it's obviously in your blood now. And when Sean and I talked about this before, this COVID thing has got everybody just on edge, and it's just like this, it's just like, I got to get out and entertain because this is what we are. We're entertainers, right? So I'm glad that you're writing, and I love to hear some of your original stuff. I really would. I'm wondering what's next for you.
I think the next biggest thing is we're praying that we can get things opened up again so that we can go forward with Bane Fest.
Yes.
Bane Band, at their cottage in Tatamagouche, he's got acreage down there, and we have a big festival. I think this is his 10th or 11th year, but it's just incredible. It's the best kept secret, really. He's only got enough room for about 500 people-ish, but they come, they don't pay for camping. They come and put their trailers and tents and whatever up, and for 3 days, they are blissfully entertained by the very best of everybody. Minglewood's there. It's just incredible. Christine's been there a couple of years in a row. I think she's coming back this year. You know, some people are a little more nervous than others about whether or not they should be performing this year. But
I hate this
honestly,
beard again.
thinking you're the invisible man. I'm thinking that the singers have the edge because I don't know one vocalist who has gotten COVID. So maybe all that breathing and stuff is helping us out to fight it.
That's all part of the LSD, the lead singer disease. That's what I keep telling Kyle, who plays my band, right? Like, you guys are like Chuck Norris, like you won't allow COVID to happen, which is great. And we'll tell you, guys, I got a scoop today. The Split Crow on Friday night is having a duo for, I think we're going to allow 10 people in the bar. They have got permission, and apparently they are, from what I'm told, they are a beta test site to see how things go. I just found that out.
We considered throwing up a stage and having a drive-in concert down in Tatamagosha if we couldn't pull off Bang Bang Fest.
Well, I just think everybody's going to have to get a little creative, and I think that you know, we've been saying this a lot on the show. If you're not using this downtime to keep practicing and get better, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Because I can tell you right now, I'm practicing like a madman, and I can't wait to get out there. And you know, if you're not doing it, if you're not spending the time, you're going to be in trouble when everything opens up.
I agree. Agreed.
I'm still here.
I know.
But I saw that I was disappearing here.
The other picture on?
Suddenly there's a green hue over my head. Yeah.
It's your halo. You're an angel.
I am an angel, Michelle. You're absolutely right.
It makes you feel better. I'll stand for a lot of people get prom pictures done.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. The police are going to come pick you up if you keep creeping around. There's a guy.
Yeah. The sad part is I'm doing a security gig to make sure that nobody's coming into a parking lot. So wouldn't that be a police game?
So here's what, Michelle, here's the truth. And Sean answered this for a lot of people so far. Like, this thing is not forever. It's for now, you know. And yes, there'll be a new normal or a new abnormal or a new, and whatever it's going to be. But you know what? We're all going to survive it. We're in it together. We're a community. We're a family, you know. And I guess here's our invitation to you is that, hey, we are definitely going to go out and have a beer together when all this shit is done. Fair to say?
I can't wait.
And we, you know, and we can use our mugs. Because Michelle got one today.
I'll need a bigger mug.
Well, that's true. Well, it's unlimited. Yeah. Okay, that'll work. Michelle, listen, I can't wait to hear you sing again. Now, if folks want to hear about what you're doing, is there some websites or anything they can look at, or?
Ainfest.ca, Ryder Band on Facebook, and Sounds of Motown on Facebook. And everything's posted when we have gigs up and running. I was supposed to have played every weekend last month and this month. It's been the most depressing time watching that schedule roll. That's canceled. That's canceled. That's canceled. But we'll be back. Things are going to start rolling again here shortly. I'm sure of it. And we'll be ready to wow.
I had that conversation the other day with somebody. 2020 so far sucks, but 2021 is looking outstanding.
Yeah. My new line is that I can't wait to have 2020 hindsight. That's what my new line is, you know.
Oh,
like that?
Man.
That's good. It's a good one. My halo's back.
How some lady has not snatched you up, McPherson, I have no idea. With lines like that.
Tried. Many have tried.
But they wouldn't pay the ransom.
Yeah.
Well, now this whole angelic glow, it's gone. Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyhow, yeah, we're pretty high tech. More trailer park, less Titanic. There it is.
Less Titanic.
Michelle Ryder, listen, I can't thank you enough for being on our show, you know, and it's been a pleasure to get to know you even more. We've been talking a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but it's like, kind of knew you, but didn't know you. But now I know why, because you weren't in that scene. And you know what? It's probably better for you that you didn't, you know what I mean? Because it was, you get bruises and stuff, but it's bullshit. The way you're doing it now is a better way to do it. And you get some great musicians that you're with. Holy God in heaven, you couldn't ask for a better crew.
Blessed. I'm blessed for sure. And a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for putting up with the chicanery that we had to do tonight. But you know what? This was great. Michelle, it was great meeting you. Can't wait to meet you face to face. Love your energy. Love your energy. You know, and I have heard you, so I'm looking forward to seeing you play soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Michelle Ryder. There it is.
I'll take it.
All right. Hey, I want to ask you really quick. One quick question. Go ahead.
I said, who won there? Was it rock, paper, or scissors?
Oh yeah. That was me trying to do a heart.
I know. We all had a different symbol up.
Oh, see? Symbolism. I want to ask you one quick question. What's your favorite music to perform? Like, what do you listen to and what do you like to perform?
Wow. See, I never plugged into a genre. I plugged into singers. But as a result, I guess I leaned more towards Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin. Eva Cassidy had the most incredible voice. And, you know, I dare to try to mimic her sometimes. But yeah, I'd say the R&B Motown is probably where I sit most comfortably.
Right on.
I don't know if you caught that. Dave's like Columbo. We wrap it up. Oh, and another thing, right?
Well, I meant to ask you earlier, right? But it's just with my face disappearing half the time, I was like, Jesus Christ. You know, so it is what it is.
It's okay.
Wait till we're really big. We'll have people do that for me. They'll be like,
no, we won't.
Right. Yes, but you'll have your Bandtalk T-shirt on, and it'll just be your face in front of your face.
That's right.
You'll never see me. Hello.
Michelle, we appreciate your patience. Thanks for being on the show. It's just a pleasure to meet you, like I said. So stay safe, and let's get through this, okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
See you at the bar.
Amen,
Great
sister.
chat.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
take care. We're out of here.